it's spinning. Okay, here we go.
We are
Okay,
live.
we're live. Jen, happy snow day.
Happy snow day. So
Happy snow day.
we are aware that not every mom in America loves a snow day.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
not,
right.
but we happen to be school teachers, so we do
Yeah,
enjoy a snow day because
yeah,
we get to reap the benefits as well.
right. Yes, it's like a love-hate relationship. It's so much fun, but like by the end of the day, you're like, this isn't fun anymore.
Go to school.
And the snow, yes, go to school. And this, well, my kids weren't going to school anyway.
That's right. Your kids were home anyway,
So
so that
no,
that worked
yep,
out for you. But it
yes. Hey,
is
Melissa. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, do you
I
not have snow today? No snow in the. I think she's in Ohio.
oh yes, you know what? My phone
We
is sideways, so now I can't see comments.
okay. So
You'll be the
we're
moderator.
sounds good.
Yeah.
We so my Jen and I's well, our kids are in different school districts. Even though we live like 8 minutes apart. So my school district went virtual or remote, we call it here, because there weren't enough bus drivers. And then Jen's district has stayed open. The district I work for, we went remote before because I found out it was because of the bus drivers too. But you have a bus driver shortage already, and if one or two get sick, right? So because of virtual, okay. So Carrie, so Carrie's saying like we don't get snow days now because of virtual. Hold on, here we go. Sorry, Jen. And
Thank you.
there we go. I'm sorry. And it's like I feel like we should get 2 snow days per year and then
Mhm.
everything should be virtual. That's just me though. I don't teach kindergarten. Like if I had to do virtual school all day as a
Can do,
kid,
yeah.
I
And
mean, or
I
fourth
do
grade
think
like
that
we do.
they're, like they took away, we always get 5 snow days. Back in the day, we used to have 6. Many,
6.
many
I
years ago,
know.
we had
I
6 snow
know.
days. That
I
was a
know.
lot. But 5 snow days, usually we use them all. 2 years ago, we used none. I don't know if you remember that. Like we used like one, I think.
But then
But
the world shut down,
yes,
right?
yes,
So it
then the
didn't
world shut
matter.
down.
It didn't
And
matter.
last year it didn't matter. Like we didn't have snow days really. I think once it was like a
We
big
did.
blizzard and we did.
We did. I had
But
COVID.
part of me says I love a snow day. Like this morning I was
Yeah.
up at like 4:30 checking my phone to like, are we gonna have a snow day? Like that, the kids
Some
had their pajamas inside out. Like that is
right.
exciting.
Right.
By the end of February, March, that wears off. Like the first one is
Yeah.
exciting. And then I do feel like, and not all districts do this, but in our districts, we get those days back. So if you don't use your snow days, that's factored into like the number of days
Yeah.
that you go to
Right.
school. So we get them back in May or in June. We get like extra days off. So
April for
yes, I
us.
like 2 snow days, and then I would love to have 2 extra days off in June or 2 extra days off in May when it's gorgeous out and
Get
we
me
can
out
enjoy
of
it.
school in June. Get me out of school. Like that last week of June is just horrific. Horrific for anyone
Yes.
that, thinks that our jobs are easy.
So I wouldn't mind going virtual for a snow day, like maybe
Yeah.
like starting mid-February, like after the
Well,
novelty has worn off.
I don't want them taking days away from us. So what happens in my district and many districts is then you have to come back early for April break. I don't want them taking away. Like I want to
No.
honestly be able to do what I need to do and make
Yes.
plans and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's school. That's the snow day situation.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then Jen and I we're here. We kind of like, this is called Coffee Confessions, and we're gonna be a little bit more confessing. We've decided.
Confessional. We're going to be
We're gonna be more confessional. I will tell you one thing is my dog, he went to a doggy daycare yesterday and he is wiped out. Like
Ooh,
very
that's
well
good.
behaved. I mean, he always lays with me. And then I got the other one. Do you see him? Can you see
I
him?
don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Do you see him? Do you know why? I'm eating raspberries. And because he's so old, yeah, Melissa Blunt. This is the first one of 2022. The first class. Well, this is.
I think it is.
I feel
I
like
think
we went.
so. The
No,
last time we went live was the day before New Year's Eve.
we went this Thursday. I remember we hopped on. Didn't we hop on? Did we
Well,
hop
no,
on
because
this?
it's only January.
Oh yeah, you're right. John.
Today's date's only the 7th.
Right.
Yeah. So the last time we went live was Because remember, it was December 30th
Yeah,
because we were going to be
you're right,
together
Jen.
New Year's Eve.
You're
And then we
right.
didn't go live because
We
yeah.
didn't. Oh,
It
we
seems
were
like
in
1,000
Nashville,
years
yes.
ago, though.
Yeah.
You went live. Yes.
I did go live about sports bras, which it probably is a pretty good one. I got some reach outs via text about that one. So you guys feel me on that. I was just like,
You'll have to fill me in. I didn't get to watch because I don't remember
yes.
where I was.
Yeah,
I was somewhere.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna, get a little more real, I think, in the 2022. So
yeah.
Either
you want to kick it off?
You're either gonna like us or you're gonna hate us. And we're okay with it either way. We really are. So a couple things that have been going on. I mean, besides like the world. I mean, it has to do with the world.
Mm-hmm.
My son really has been sick since New Year's Eve, and it's really kind of frustrated at every person who I talked to. A doctor came at it as must have COVID, right? And really didn't want to test on anything else. Even when I proved that he didn't have COVID with tests, they still didn't want to really give a flu test, give a rhino test, give an RSV test, nothing, right? But the most frustrating thing was, you have to give them a PCR test. And when you go on to every urgent care, and thank you, Jen, for looking, she was like going on as well, availability were for days. So my kid just kept getting more sick. Nobody wanted to treat him other ways, give him antibiotics or anything. And I got to tell you, he's still kind of not feeling great. And no, he doesn't have COVID. Yeah. So, and it was like, I felt like I was crazy in my head. I'm like, wait a second. So everyone just says COVID? Everyone just says COVID. And I know you're going to be like, oh, Alicia, there is a surge going on. I get it. Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. There's other things other than COVID. And
that's the thing.
Right? And it's like, wait, are we missing pneumonia? Are we missing bronchitis? I mean, his cough was really bad. He was on nebulizing him. You like that? I make up my own words. For days. We finally got antibiotics, and it's amoxicillin. I mean, that's really, wow. Knock anything out with amoxicillin, huh? I mean, I'm just like, I'm real. I'm being real because I was like, honestly, Jen, you know this. Sorry, I had to dog proof my room. I was just like, I felt crazy and I wanted to cry. Yes. And then it's like, wait a second, this is the health of my kids. We are a first world nation, and I can't get health care for my child, my little 9-year-old boy, but he's like a skinny little thing and he's coughing. And I'm like, are you going to break something? I had to keep him home from school, even when I thought he was feeling better. And, you can't, and then he was coughing so bad. I'm like, well, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And I'm just tired of it. And, and I'm just really tired of it. So I started it off. We might lose people, Jen.
But I think this is a truth. It's a confession. Yeah. And we've been saying this since last January.
May 4th, 2020, we've basically been saying this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes. And I think, we've known many people, including personally, who have had COVID. You get a test, you're positive for COVID.
Right.
And no one cares. No one cares after
No one cares after that.
You have COVID? Okay, peace out. Don't leave your house for back then 14 days. Don't leave your house. And you don't get any medical care. I know, I have family members, same thing, like really sick, like
I know.
Sick. And a doctor will call, and I'm not blaming it's just the system. We love our doctors. We respect the medical profession. It is just right now like a broken system.
Well,
just
here's
like last
the
year I
thing.
could have said teaching was a broken system. Like everything is just breaking.
Yeah. Yes. And like it's, we're educators. So if we said, okay, we are going to modify this for your child to help him do better in school. And for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week, that didn't work. Would we try another modification, Jen? I believe we would. Yeah. So why aren't doctors, do I love my doctors? I don't know, because I'm kind of frustrated with them. And I don't care in saying that. And I'm like, wait a second, you just made me go crazy. And the school district made me go crazy. Nobody knows anything. No, everything's different. DOH says something different than the school district say. It's an absolutely,
Yes.
like you're saying, broken system. And
Yes.
it's
The
just, and then,
CDC says
and then the
something.
rules keep changing, Melissa. Yes.
Every day.
So stop
Every
it.
day.
Stop all of it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. With you guys are either gonna love us or hate us, and we apologize for that. But
I'm not apologizing.
We're just speaking from our hearts. I'm not apologizing, actually.
Our mom hearts, and I feel like the moms, Jen, are feeling this the most. Sorry
the moms are the ones who have to deal with, oh, your kid is quarantined, you have to stay home. Oh, your kid making choices about medical care and vaccines and calling.
Yes.
And no diss to the dads. Our husbands are wonderful. They are never the ones calling the school, calling the doctor's office. It's just not their role. Just like I'm not the one installing the new toilet in the bathroom. It's just not what I do. And it's not what he does. But unfortunately, right now, that is like, it's crushing to have that weight on us. And I feel like thanks, Alicia
Melissa.
and I are both very common sense people. Like we're common sense. I think we operate on like, I don't want to say we're black and white, but like, I don't like gray. I don't like to be like, oh, is it this way or that way? Like, I like to know. And I think as teachers, we're good at like looking at all angles of things before we make an opinion. And right now, you could look at 85 million angles and still be completely confused because there's no truth. In our house, our cable, our like MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News are in a row. It's like channel 24, 25, 26. And my mom and I always say, you could go channel 24, the world is ending. Channel 25, this person's a horrible person. Channel 26, like, no, it's the complete opposite. Like, and I get that. There's viewpoints. I understand that. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
As a teacher of history, Alicia will tell you that, propaganda has existed from the beginning of civilization. However, we're in a pandemic.
It's gotten worse since the media.
It's social media, all the cable news, and all of it is bad. I mean, we don't subscribe to any of it. I think all of it is like out for whatever reasons. However, it's very confusing when you're being told to change your whole life, like, stay in your house or get a vaccine or do this and do that. And yet it doesn't make sense. I'm all for a vaccine if it works. I'm all for a lockdown if it really was going to stop the spread after 2 weeks. I'm all for like these things if they are going to change our world and make life better. They're not working. So we need to, I don't know what we need to do.
And they need to admit failure, the failure, stop going after the money train. And either people are going to really leave us now, Jen, and I'm sorry. Then you're not like our people, and that's the way it's going to have to be because it has been so hard being quiet for 2 years. We have been quiet because really this has been going on for 2 years. Like we've known about it since January of 2020, and you're all going to make me cry. Finally, someone who makes sense.
Thank you, Carrie. Well, honestly, and if you don't agree with us, we want to hear about that too. We love to hear other viewpoints.
I know. I just don't want anyone to be mean, and that's why we haven't done this.
Yeah, because the Mommy Dash for 10 years has been like the most respectful community. It is just, and that's what we love. And other people tell us that all the time, that like, you guys have curated this place where, because you've been in other mom groups where people are like nasty and just hard and they get banned and blah blah blah. We don't do that. Everyone is just lovely and respectful and recognizes that we all come from different walks of motherhood and walks of life. So you feel differently, feel free to tell us, of course, but just be nice about it. And we'll be nice back because just be nice. That's what it is. Because we don't need any more craziness. It is
I don't know who that.
I wish we knew who that was.
I wish I knew who that was. And like, what was I going to say? I don't know. It's just, we want to be real. And this is something that Jen and I have been talking about for a long time, and we've been scared. I've been scared. I'm a teacher. I'll speak for myself. I've, know so many friends and family that think differently, and it's, you're putting yourself out there. But every time we do put ourselves out there just a little bit, people reach out and see the comments, and they're like, well, I do agree with you. And then you're like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm not crazy. I've never felt more crazy in my life. I don't like feeling this way, but my heart, my everything, like it's so hard. It's hard. So
it is. It's so hard. It is just, and I think, our
it's Laura,
our mentor, Julie, always says, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And that always sticks in our head that, like, yes, you can appease everybody and just be, like wishy-washy, I would say, or you could take a stand. And I think Alicia and I have, like, personally, in our personal lives, we're very vocal about what we believe in and our ideas and just thoughts, and respectful, because we have very good friends who think the opposite, and that's fine. That's 100% fine. Like that's real life, but they respect our opinion. We respect theirs. But I think that we need to be, honest and speak what's on our hearts, and just let you guys know where we're coming from, because just like when we used to talk about potty training or teenagers talking back, or or mountains of laundry, you relate to that. And I think so many of you are going to relate to what we are saying and validate your feelings, whichever way you're thinking. So something is, the world is just topsy-turvy right now, and we'll get through it just like every other.
Yeah, it's just hard to navigate. Yes, absolutely. And yes, it's historically, and what's crazy, I'm a Supreme Court nerd. I love the Supreme Court. I still want to be teenagers talk back.
Never, Melissa.
Never. But today they're hearing about the vax mandate and in private companies.
See, update us, because I know nothing.
Okay, so in the Supreme Court, for a case to get to the Supreme Court, it could take anywhere from 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, just to get to the Supreme Court, it has to go up in the courts. Well, this one is just, this is pushed within a couple months right there, because they really want to hear what's going on. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I have some renewed faith in our government. Hello, I love government. It is my passion. I love teaching about it.
Mug.
Yes, even though it's 76. I know. I love teaching it. My students would say the same thing. And I'm like, okay, so I woke up this morning, and I don't put the news on often. And I just turned it on, and there it was. And anytime I see something about the Supreme Court, I watch it and really listen. And my point is that, like, okay, people are listening, and they're hearing us, and they're hearing our frustrations. And I really this has been really hard on businesses and economy. And people might say, well, health matters more. Well, everything. It's a full, there are people that are out of work. There are people that have been affected so much by this, not only medically. So,
yeah. I was just watching on the news. And again, we both are really good about not watching the news.
I really don't.
Because it's self-preservation. Like, I just don't even... I
don't want to bring it into my world.
I'll read the headlines. I get emails with like headlines, and it's on a need to know basis, because if we take that plunge, it's a dark and dangerous place sometimes. But the other night there was a story on our like Fox 5 News, which is like local New York City news, and they were talking about how all of these coffee shops and cafes and like mom and pop like businesses throughout the city have shut, like they've lost their businesses because it was actually the new mayor, Eric Adams, who we're not New York City residents, so it doesn't really affect our life what he does much. Right. I don't know how I feel about him, but I think he's better than Mayor de Blasio, who is thankfully gone. But I did support what he was saying. He was saying that, like, blue collar workers, if you work for Metro North, you're a police officer, you work anything, a postman, a post person, a postal, whatever you, there could be post women.
Right.
They don't have the luxury. I don't know if I want to say luxury. They don't have the option of doing their job from home.
No.
Like teachers historically don't either. Last year was
Right.
a little bit like, wacky, but
Yes.
my husband's a police officer. He can't sit in our living room and be a police officer. It just doesn't work that way. However, and that's fine. Companies pivoted big time to have their workers stay home. If you're an accountant or, you work in human resources or whatever it
Right.
is you do.
I mean, they can move
However,
out of the
what has
city.
happened is that domino effect of, now you're not traveling to the city, which means you're not going to your office building, which means you're not stopping at that corner store to get your coffee and your bagel and your newspaper every day. And now what happened is, I honestly have not been to New York City since I think the last time was like January 2020. So and you too, I know you were there right before.
I was
shut
we were
down.
March 5th, and then we were just there September something to see a Broadway show.
Oh, that's right, you were there. So it was
Very
a ghost
weird.
town.
It
Ghost town.
was. I felt like
Yeah.
it was the zombie apocalypse. I can never say that word, apocalypse, and
Yeah.
it was very, very strange, very quiet and very it was weird. That's just
Yeah.
me. It could have changed. I'm not trying to say that I even
No, I've heard
know
that
what's going on in New York City, but
Yeah, I've heard that from so many people. It's different
and I
because
felt
of
like
the
I really
shift.
had to watch my kid. I didn't feel it was as safe.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
from people I know who go daily. That's the word on the streets. It's
Yes.
changed big time due to a lot of things, not
So
just
sad.
COVID,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
But my point is, it's that domino effect. People have lost their businesses that were like no-brainer businesses. Like people went in and got their breakfast and lunch
Yeah.
there every day.
Yeah.
Now there's no people because
Yes.
people are working from home. And the point was the new mayor thinks that everyone should be back in an office building. He was like, you need to go back to your office because kind of like a all for one for all. Like if the postman has to go to his, go do his route in person. If you're I don't even know. We don't work in
How can
offices.
you even enforce something
human
like that?
resource
Yeah.
person, you need to go to your office
Yeah.
and do your job because
Right.
you're now, I would
You're
imagine,
affecting.
like the train. Nobody was taking the train. Nobody was all these things that it's cutting off revenue in so many places. So now, mind you, if I was someone who was working from home, not having to commute to New York City every day, I'd probably be pretty thrilled about that. So I understand there's a whole other side to it, but financially and for people's livelihood, there is that domino effect. So there's just so much there. And
we thank you
we
so
don't
much
have answers.
No, but we thank you for listening and really responding so positively and just you're getting it. And we really appreciate that because it took us a very
Yes.
So Melissa, that's what I'm saying. So it's on the so the Supreme Court, they're hearing the case that is the vax mandate constitutional, that anyone who has 100 or more, that all their people have to be vaccinated. And obviously so many people are arguing why are we vaccinated and boosted, because everyone's getting it despite despite your vaccination status. And that's what the Supreme Court is hearing today. So, and the Supreme Court only hears the case for an hour, and then they'll deliberate. And I don't know, they'll tell us either in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It depends, but they'll only hear the case for an hour, and then you can hear it. You can hear.
Ooh.
Yeah, I listen.
I would think that this.
Yes. Yeah. Andrea, you're right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Not having a job and and I think you just brought up an excellent point. It's the mental, yes, physical health. And we know people who have been hospitalized with COVID, very sick. There are people who obviously COVID's a weird thing. Some people have no symptoms and they're fine. And some people end up in a hospital. So we recognize that and respect that it's scary.
Sure.
It's very scary. I just, a friend was just saying that someone he knows, their baby, a couple-month-old baby, ended up with COVID and had a very high fever and ended up down in the city in the hospital. I mean, that is beyond scary.
Yeah.
However, I think the mental health fallout from all of this, Andrea's saying, is beyond our children, the mental health, the people, just like Alicia and I are saying, the fact that we feel so confused all the time, that's not if you guys could see our private back and forth texts, you would think we're like psychotic some days because
Yeah.
we're like, what is happening? Like, what is going on?
It's
in
just
the
so
world?
many decisions every day. It's not like, okay, we wake up, we go to school, we do this, and then that's it. Like the decision making on the daily is just exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's
It's draining.
exhausting.
It's a mental load
So
of it.
you're right. Yeah. It's the mental load.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and never mind that we already have a mental load from just being the cruise directors of our home. So
Concierge all day long.
it's been a yeah. And we're nowhere near the end of the road on the PTSD. I know it's gonna.
Agreed.
I know. And Melissa,
Agreed.
you know that best. Melissa works
Yeah.
with children all the time. She, definitely check Melissa out in Sensory Stepping Stones if you're local, and even if you're not, just her page, she just offers so much
Amazing.
goodness because you might be struggling with people with family members that are not like every day. I feel like there's like a new situation in our
Every day.
house, and I'm like, okay, guys, and don't say this. Be nice here. Okay, we're gonna visit with these people, so don't say this.
Don't
And
call
it's
the
like,
nurse because you're going to get
Don't
sent
go-
home
yeah.
and then you can't go back
Yeah.
to school. Like,
Yeah, don't
It's
say you have a little
telling. I think
stomach ache
that's-
because you ate chili at lunch.
I think that
I
we,
know they did.
Alicia and I are both guilty of it. Like, not telling our kids to like lie, but like, don't say that to that person. Like, don't. And that's,
Yeah.
that's
That's-
like, who are we? Who are we? We're honest
What are we
people.
teaching our kids? I know.
What are you teaching your kids? But it's a
Yeah.
game at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I
Yes.
think, and
So
that we
what's
were talking about that
happening
last
there?
week. And
Are
we
people
were,
just
we were
doing it?
walking, and we were stunned.
I'm stunned.
Because we are public school teachers. Our children go to public school.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this a whole nother step further right now. I'm going to be very honest. I am vaccinated. I got vaccinated last year in the spring. I didn't want to. I'm going to be very honest. I really did not have it on my heart to do it,
Mhm.
but we did it because I felt like and Alicia would say the same. She wanted her life back. She felt
I
like,
was like first
okay.
online because I wanted my
Yeah.
life back. Yeah.
Yeah. My husband, Alicia and my husband got it the same week
Yeah.
because in like January, they were like, give it to us. We
Yeah.
want this over with.
I
I was
got
more
COVID.
hestant.
Right in between. I got my
She got
shot.
COVID in between
6
the
days
two.
later, COVID. So you go.
Yeah. But it is very, so whatever, that's fine. What's done is done.
Yeah.
I don't plan on getting a booster shot. Honestly, I do not.
Mhm.
I'm not being
Mhm.
mandated to get one in any way
Right,
at this point
right.
in life. But like, when am I considered not fully vaccinated anymore? That's my question. I don't even want the answer to that. But like, does it run out? Do I have like? It's the grayness of yes. Like my
It's always
husband was.
sitting right here all the
Yeah,
time.
right here.
Non-answer questions.
My husband was snowboarding with our son yesterday up at Hunter Mountain, and my husband is vaccinated. He could not go in the lodge to go get lunch because he didn't have his vaccine card. I do carry mine in my wallet. I've never had to show it anywhere. I just know I won't lose it.
That's
that
what I thought,
way.
Melissa.
His is sitting on top of his dresser. Never brings it with him
Because he
which
doesn't
is-
need it. Because
you don't need it.
you don't
where are
usually need it.
going?
doesn't
I understand if
benefit
you're
you.
going to New York City, you need it, certain things. He was going skiing in Ulster County. I don't know where Hunter is. Whatever count, like, an hour away upstate, and could not get lunch because he didn't have his vaccine card. And I was like,
Mhm.
that is to me, first of all, you're eating. So you're walking
Yeah.
in and sitting down and
Yeah.
eating. You're going to take your mask. I say, you can't just wear a mask. And he's like, nope, they want your card. So that is one of those things that put me over the edge. Cause I'm like, first of all, your vaccine's a year old now. So are you even really vaccinated? Probably not.
No.
He probably should get a booster. But yet if you just showed that piece of paper, you would be safe. Yet he has antibodies and he is, this COVID that everyone's getting, vaccinated people are getting, it doesn't make sense. It's not like a measles vaccination. We know that works. You have the measles vaccine. Yeah.
It works
I
because
believe
it
in
didn't
vaccination.
mutate. It didn't mutate. Yeah. There's an app for your phone
Yeah,
that is
so
helpful for
Paige-
that. Yeah.
So
Thank
my
you,
sister
Paige.
texted me
Yeah.
that and I was like, oh, good, download the app. Just FYI, everybody, if you're going to put that app on your phone, you need to know the date of your
Dates.
second vaccine.
Right.
So I tried guessing. I was like at lunch putting in random dates for him. I couldn't.
Aw. But
Yada, yada, yada. He
again,
had to stop.
it's like, why so stressful? He just wanted a fun day out with his kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Just want to get a
why?
hamburger.
And you might disagree with me, and I get it. It's, but this poor guy, he just wanted to have a good day out. Everyone I know who gets them had the vaccine. Oh, interesting.
Like people are still getting chicken
Getting
pox?
Now that is a virus, and they were able to contain it with this. And I think because I don't want to say anything because I don't really know.
You know what's funny? I remember when my daughter was whatever age you get. It's called like the varicella. It starts with a V, right?
Yes,
whatever age
it is.
she was at when she was getting that vaccine. I don't know, 2, whatever, however
Really?
old you are. I remember our doctor saying, it was chicken pox. And I was like, that she was getting a chicken pox vaccine. And I was like, who gets a chicken pox? I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought like, well, why wouldn't people just get chicken pox? Like to me, like we all had chicken pox.
I know.
He's like, yeah, people haven't had chicken pox for 20 years. I was like, what? I didn't know that. But that's very interesting, Carrie. Like there was like a chicken pox outbreak.
And
okay, that makes no sense.
That makes nothing.
No sense,
and so
Andrea.
that's what Jen and I probably text each other every day. Nothing makes sense. And that I think is what's most frustrating because like you're saying, Jen, I'm pro-vax. I do vaccinate my children. I always have. I've never even pushed off vaccinations. I'll be honest.
We immunize our children.
We did.
Yes.
We immunized. And I wasn't one of those like, now I know people who pushed off vaccines for their kids with measles and tuberculosis, whatever. I'm not great on the wordage. They're the ones that are like, oh my God, I got to vaccinate my kids. I'm like, weren't you the one that didn't want to vaccinate your kids all the way and really wanted to push out the vaccines? When I was like,
confusing.
oh, is my daughter due on this day? Oh yeah, we'll get her a vaccine.
Yeah.
Yep. So none of you guys have had chickenpox and have not had the vaccine.
You have 7
kids?
Carrie, I did not know that. That's amazing. See? And I think chickenpox is like gone. I don't even know. I don't know.
Right. And this is one of those
Crazy.
things that they're saying. So anyway, so, our doctor, Jen and I's doctor, thinks that if, grandparents just kind of sit tight for a little bit and then you let the rest of the world out doing what they need to do, then it will it will wipe this out. But there's a lot of factors and we think we know why that's not happening.
It's just the rules surrounding it all that are making us crazy.
Like Andrea said with the Bronx Zoo. So guys, thank you. This has been okay. I think this was good, Jen. I think
it was great.
And on, because we've been doing this for 32 minutes, but honestly, if you do agree with us, or even if you don't, but you think it's a value, could you share this?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for your support. I mean, just, if you can share it out, great.
Yeah.
Jen, that's okay, right?
You read my mind because I was going to say, if you're watching this on the Mommy Dash group, the TMD Insiders, there's not going to be a share button. If you go over to the Mommy Dash page, you can share it. So we would love for you to share it and find.
Well, we'll probably download it, upload it to YouTube.
Mama, you can listen to it over and over. But honestly, we respect.
Dawn, thank you.
Thank you. We respect all of you. We do, and that's coming from our hearts. Whether you think that our opinions are not correct or I mean that. I respect that. Like I said, some of I have family members, best friends that don't agree, and that's fine. That's que sera, sera, right? That is life. However, I think we can all agree on the fact that this is nothing makes sense and things are crazy. And we have to have an outlet to discuss those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen, Mama.
Yes.
And
it's just the weight of the decisions.
It's just so stressful. Yep.
It is.
And I don't want to feel like if I make this decision, am I immoral and a criminal for doing things? So, thank you. Thank you. We're always honest with you guys. It's just that sometimes we don't say everything we're feeling. Like, for 2 years, we've been pretending to be really kind of like happy. And
we try to stay neutral. And
it's that's
being
exhausting.
Switzerland isn't always healthy. Can't be always be Switzerland.
We can't.
Gotta take a side.
Nope. I don't always want to be pizza where everybody likes you.
That's right. That's right. You are not pizza. Everyone's not
I'm-
going to like you.
That's right.
Maybe we'll
Yep,
be
yep.
like pineapple pizza, Hawaiian pizza. Not everybody likes that.
No,
I don't
mm-mm.
like that.
No, I don't like that either. Or yeah, exactly.
Andrea,
All
I
right.
agree with that things change when moms talk. And we are going to be having some guests on that
Yeah.
are some moms who are affecting change and looking to officially become change makers. So stay tuned. I think Alicia went to swipe something and she disappeared. We'll see if she comes back. We're going to be having some special guests this year that are, moms who are, do you like my toilet paper and paper towel background? Oh, there she is.
You know, it times me out for 30 minutes. That's why I
I
was
said
like,
shoot something. There we
30
go.
minutes. It just times
So-
me out.
I was just saying we're going to have some special guests on that are going to talk about how they're like,
Yes.
in an official capacity going to want to change the
Yep.
world. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. I'll end it,
Thank
Jen,
you.
so I know it won't time us
No,
out.
don't leave yet. I'll leave. I'll end it. Oh, you
Okay.
end it. You end it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Don't
but
leave.
don't
though.
leave. Don't leave.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for
Mwah.
being you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.